Hey guys, it's Olard here, back again with another review, and a effed up throat as usual. Today we're going to have a look at the Marvel Legends Epic Heroes Coughing Man now. Today we're looking at Iron Man, one of 5,000 you can buy, so you have an option. His only, really? That's Japanese stuff. His only accessory is this crazy stand. This is actually not the one that came with him. It's the exact same thing, but his is in storage. I actually got another figure from this wave, which we'll be looking at later. Comes with the same crap. They gave him stands instead of bath parts. That was stupid. But nonetheless, like many a Marvel Legends wave, this one was distributed poorly. So I never saw any of these figures up here. I think I saw this one. But that was it. Like this figure. Yeah, he's actually probably one of my favorite Iron Men that I own. My all-time favorite kind of being that movie one from Civil War. You should probably go and get on clearance now for like $2 at Ross, I guess. I don't have one of those stores. But yeah, my only gripe with this dude is he's really, really short. This being a bulky armor should be like at the top of the screen here. If that was the case, it would be a perfect figure. Aside from the fact that these shoulder pads just don't look right. They're matte, while the rest of him has this nice paint on it. And I know these gauntlets are separate pieces. So, you can't tell me they can't mold stuff in that metallic red plastic when they did it on the whole figure. But yeah, other than that, he's pretty solid. My only real gripes with this, other than those, are the fact that he's got wide-jointed hips. Like, that's so dated, and they're really difficult to use. And then he doesn't have anything but a swivel at the foot. I mean, if you're gonna do that, and the swivel at the boot, just do one or the other, I guess. Swivel at the boot, I guess, makes a little bit more sense, but jeez, really? Unless it's just possible to move. I don't see any, like, rocker or anything. Because nowadays they'd be able to implement a rocker in here because, well, Groot. Any of the three that I've reviewed on this channel, they all have a rocker joint, they all have stumpy feet like that. So why this guy doesn't have a rocker on him? But articulation, since we're already getting into it, his head will rotate, it'll tilt a bit. It will, can look up, can it? No, I guess it's just on a standard, yeah, it's on a standard ball joint, look at that. Almost looks like a double ball peg, but it must be like stuck. But yep, he can only look up that far and down a decent amount. I guess you could probably half it. You can half it and you can look up a little higher. And even more so if you tilt his half crunch back, he can look straight up, but whatever, I suppose. Speaking of his ab crunch, moves back this far, forward that far. His arms will move out as far as the shoulder pads will allow. They'll rotate as far as the shoulder pads will allow. He's got a bicep swivel, double joint. Yeah, double joint at the elbow, which can only give you that much. Just a little over 90 degrees. Swivel at the gauntlet, swivel at the wrist and a hinge, swivel at the waist. Wide jointed hips, they can move out that far. That's the only good thing with wide jointed hips, you can usually get them to do the splits. Then when you try to move them back in, they want to rotate and get all out of place and tick me off. Then if you swing it around, you can get it out about that far and back, probably not much at all. He's got a thigh cut, double joint at the knee, which gives you a decent amount of range. Swivel at the boot and a swivel at the foot. So the articulation on this guy is in between being the standard and sucking poo-poo caca, because he's got really good like upper body. I mean, for what it is, I mean the head sucks, but other than that, he's got really good upper body. But the rest of him just kind of falls flat. Like, you got a rotation there and a rotation there. That's a little bit redundant, I think, anyways. And you can't splay his legs out, so when he's on the stand, it's like you gotta have his legs that close together so he doesn't do the side. He still does. He does that sideways weeble wobble, which drives me nuts. And yeah, there's like no balance to this figure. He can't just stand up straight, which is kind of annoying. I mean, I'm getting him closer and closer the more I screw with it, but it's like there's no perfect way to stand him up. Like, that's as close as you're gonna get. I mean, he just wants to do that sideways tilt thing. On the plus side, his feet are large, so he can just straight up stand. And then here's a size comparison next to Dr. Doom. Now, here's my problem. These are both dudes in armor, right? I'll move him up a little bit. These are both dudes in armor, right? Why the heck is he so dang short? I really don't get this. I will never understand this. Why all the Iron Man figures are shorter than everyone else, but whatever, I suppose. I'm going to give this guy an 8 out of 10. Just because of those few issues, I think, kind of do it for this figure. If his articulation was better and if he was taller, he would be perfect. It'd be my favorite Iron Man figure, probably. The red on the shoulder pads, that's expected, but the rest is kind of lame. So, with that being said, is this a good Iron Man figure? Yes, it's a good one. It's not the best one, it's not a great one, but it is a good one. Special shout out to T-Biz, because this was part of our first trade, believe it or not. You see why I got rid of it. Either way, that being said, hope you enjoyed this review, and until next time, I will catch you guys later.